What's up, guys? It's Jughead here, just a down-to-earth guy, trying to bring you all some down-to-earth content. Welcome to my Let's Watch Jujutsu Kaisen series. Today, we're going to be watching episode 1, of course, titled Ryomen Sukuna. I know I'm gonna pronounce that wrong because I'm assuming that's a name. So I'm gonna assume that character's name is just gonna be more commonly pronounced or just referred to as Sukuna, because that would be their identifying name. Ryōmen, because that's a O with the long line over it, which indicates a long O sound. And I know it's different in Japanese kanji, where it's either like a double O or a OU. So I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm gonna get it over time, or fuck that name, and I'm just gonna go with Sukuna. But Jujutsu Kaisen, I can't put it off anymore. I need to add it to the channel. I want to start watching this show so bad. I've been itching to watch it for so long. I just can't wait anymore. I've heard so much about this show from people I follow on social media and friends who watch it, and they're just like, man, this might end up being one of the GOATs, one of the greats, like one of the like modern animes that like are brand new, just came out, but you can like, oh my god, the storytelling, it's gonna be one of the GOATs that they're anticipating. Just reverence all around, and the fact that you can sense the influence it gets from things like Hunter x Hunter, which I'm in the middle of watching right now, and I think it would just be, one, I just can't wait any longer. Two, it would be a good show to put alongside Hunter x Hunter and even Mob Psycho. I think I can balance 3 at one time, especially with Hunter x Hunter being my primary focus, and just like a palate cleanser, you know, like when you sniffing perfume, they have that little jar of coffee beans that you smell, so you get your palate cleanser. Or when you eat sushi, you eat the ginger as a palate cleanser, and then you go on to your next piece. That is what I want Jujutsu Kaisen and Mob Psycho to be as I go into Hunter x Hunter. And Hunter x Hunter can be the palate cleanser for those other 2 shows. But really, I can't put it off anymore. I am too excited to start watching. And with that, I'm already 3 minutes talking. I am going to just shut up and let's get on with the episode. Okay, so let's watch Jujutsu Kaisen episode 1 in 3, 2, 1. I couldn't decide on which hand I wanted to use. Let's watch. Holy shit. I'm an idiot. Okay. How are we starting this? I don't know anything about the show. That's how I go into every show. Don't know who anybody is, what they're doing. Only thing I know is this guy, because I've seen so many people do cosplays on these people, and everybody has a crush on, not that guy, but the guy with the blindfold on. I only know that guy. His name is Gojo. I know literally nothing else. That's how I want to go into everything. I don't know who this motherfucker is. Is he the bad guy? Is he the good guy? I don't know. In charge of the first years at Jujutsu Tech. Okay. They're making it very up in the air right now for me to decide who is the good guy or who's the bad guy. All I can say, though, is their voices, as a heterosexual male, sexy as hell. And first episode of a new series, I'm gonna watch the intro. I like that it's very poppy alternative. It's kind of I like the atmosphere. I like the vibe. It's very different from a Mob Psycho, which is just up in your face, intense, which I like. Same with Hunter x Hunter. It's more metal, and even the background music is the hip-hoppy drum beats. And a lot of people complain about the Hunter x Hunter background music, and I can understand that, because a lot of the times they play the music too much, and I don't really like the background music during the episodes that plays. The intro and outros, I fuck with. The in the middle, don't like. But I like that this is more like a poppy alternative. But like I said, I don't know anything about this show other than how I said in the beginning, how revered it is right now, how it's shaping up to be one of the GOATs, that it is influenced by Hunter x Hunter, and that person with the blindfold on is Gojo, because that viral cosplay that was on Twitter a while ago, and people I follow and people I are friends with talk about the show, love it. And men be having man crushes on some characters, girls be having mad crushes. That's all I know. I don't know who they are, what they're doing, when this takes place, who the protagonists are, who the antagonists are. I don't know. So Itadori, that's him. Okay, we know this guy. Is that the same redheaded guy that we saw in the epilogue just now? He looked very different. This guy just looks like a chill, streetwear fitted dude. So his name is Itadori. So we know him. We know Gojo is that guy. But again, I like the atmosphere. It's the acoustic guitar in the background. Very vibey, in contrast to the grumpy old man yelling at clouds and nurses. Yeah, that acoustic guitar, I like that. Very vibey. Stark contrast. Me, I couldn't read that in time. Who's this? This looks like a dark motherfucker. Again, and his voice, sexy as hell. He seems to be the all business guy, the guy who don't fuck around. So it said cursed object. So is this, I assume a lot of animes have more supernatural themes in their show. So this is, I think, going to go more along the route of comparing it to Mob Psycho, perhaps, with the occult, telepathy, supernatural abilities, curses, spirits, things of that nature. Occult Phenomenon Research Club. So Sasuke, Iguchi. Spirits. Okay, this is literally just like Mob Psycho. With Telepathy Club, they got the Occult Phenomenon Club here. And that's Itadori here, and that's Sasuke, and that's, I forget his name. What is that? He's a teacher, though, because he's wearing the same uniform as this guy. And he called him Senpai, so... It was like Scooby-Doo and the gang. I'm gonna forget so many names. It's gonna take me a while to remember these names. I'm awful with names. So there was an event on the rugby field. Dude, this is so much like Mob Psycho. Investigating into supernatural phenomena, the occult, spirits, curses, people with gifts alongside, mixed in with regular human beings without powers. You have some who do have supernatural abilities, like Mob and Mob Psycho, who is a psychic. I also like the animation in this too. It reminds me of Mob Psycho too. Very eccentric and out there. Okay, there's so many subtitles on right now. What the fuck am I looking at? What the fuck was that? Yeah, the Occult Club is literally just like the Telepathy Club. Except they actually do shit. They actually investigate like they're the gang from Scooby-Doo. They just need the mystery machine. Huh? What? Okay. What an asshole! The fucking gym teacher? Fuck off. Wrote in his name into the club he wants him to be in, instead of the club that he actually wants to be in. They racing? So he has to be super athletically capable if he's like, we're gonna take this to the field, we want you for competition, we need you really bad. But he doesn't want to be in that lifestyle, that athletic lifestyle. He likes shit that he likes. Dude, that voice is... Okay, we got a fucking So can he only see that? Or is it like Mob Psycho, spirits can make themselves known to everybody and appear to everybody? Probably a grade 2 curse. We got actual fucking monsters in here, though. That's creepy as hell. But this guy, like I said, seems to be the I'm all business, I don't fuck around. The way he's dressed, the way he looks, that serious demeanor on his face. The voice. Dude, when they match voice actors perfectly with the look of a character that can then create the overall personality, love that shit. So he saw that creature up on that pole, but those two other guys didn't. So I think only he can see it. So that then implies that some people have the gift and most people don't. Mirko Crow Crop. So he's super athletically capable. And he's like, people know he's gifted. Kind of like in Mob Psycho where they know psychics exist. Oh, I thought they were racing. They said track field. I wasn't thinking they were going to go by some Olympic Games shit. Damn, son. What the hell? Why would you throw it in that direction towards a soccer post and not in the open field to go farther? But damn, you gotta be strong as hell. If he crushes it like that? You couldn't go to haunted places. Okay. So he is the gifted one. And they're aware that he's the gifted one. Why does he look like the redheaded guy I saw right in the beginning? This looks like the nice guy version, and then you have the evil motherfucker version, like the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde version. There. Or he was just all beat up and shit, I don't know. He pulled it off without any cursed energy. Why cursed energy? And so he's gifted because he can detect another gifted person. Interesting. Ooh, what is that? What is that? What is that? Ooh. Did he sense evil in him? Or is he holding a cursed object in his backpack? And is that cursed object the same cursed object that he was looking for in that little thing? Is he going to visit his grandpa? Say hi to the grumpy old man? Yes, he is. Again, that acoustic guitar. I like that vibe. True. Not feeling like you're a burden. I can relate to that. Your grandson wants to visit you. Okay, let's not be so fucking depressing. Does he not know his parents? Stop trying to act all cool before you die. True. I like the banter they have. Always be yourself. Lacks upbringing, so he's very, like, does he have a gift? Did he inherit the gift from him? Did his parents have the same gift too? You're a strong kid, so help others. I like that message right there. Wow. Why are you being so introspective and philosophical and emotional right now? Oh, don't end up like me. So do they all have the gift or some abilities? Did he gain that from his parents? Or his parents not alive? Because they either died or did something bad or ran away or whatever. Uh-oh. Do we have a cold blue? Did he die? Did he pass away? Did he pass away? He looks like the guy in the beginning of the episode. Damn, his grandpa died. He did go out in style, though. With words like that, shit, I'd be keeping that to heart forever. Some profound words. So I assume maybe this guy's gonna go to the dark side a bit, because he's like, you may lose your way, but just try and help as many people as you can. Don't end up like I did. So he's very emotionally compromised right now. Is this gonna be our very conflicting character? The mixture between bad and good. Yeah, you're gonna be in denial for a little bit. Yeah, true. Your grandpa don't want that lax lifestyle. Like he said, don't want you being a baby. Don't want you being too emotional. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh, Jujutsu Tech. That's the same guy. That's the same place Gojo's from. He's just very open about there being cursed objects and such. Yeah, so does he know what cursed objects mean? Like, he's in that club, do they actually take it seriously and know that this shit is like real fucking life? Ah, so he doesn't. This guy's fucking serious, though. Large pools of negative energy form especially easily in school. Hardship, regret, yeah, they attach to those emotions of vulnerability. Yep. Pretty much like the dark side. Forget that quote from Yoda. Where blah 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 leads to this, which leads to this, which leads to suffering, and that's to the dark side. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, I think is what Yoda said. Which can drive you down the dark side. Is where these curses take advantage. So curses are the real shit. So Jujutsu Tech, did they specialize in this? Uh-oh. Oh man, it was such a strong feeling, but it's only the box? Uh-oh, they're about to mess with some shit they are not prepared to mess with. He's like... When a professional's like him has that wide-eyed look, uh-oh. Well, that girl's not gonna die, because I saw her in the fucking intro. They're not gonna give her seconds in the intro if she's gonna fucking die. Right? Or is that a different girl? Am I an idiot? Uh-oh. You're fucking up right now. You are fucking up right now. Dude, why would you do this? I'm not in the occult, but I know if I'm unwrapping fucking hieroglyphic type shit and there's a human finger underneath, fuck that. You fucked up, dude. You fucked up. Burn it. Burn it. Ugh. It's impossible for people who lack cursed energy. Why is it cursed energy? That's such a weird term. Seal is ancient. Again, we're learning as they learn. I like that. When they give you a character that's on the same level playing field as you, and that's this guy. Yeah. Go with what your grandpa said. Save as many people as you can. Especially when it's kind of obvious that you have abilities too. Even though if you don't know how to harness them, I guess. I'd be shitting my pants. Bruh. Ugh. That's fucking creepy, dude. There'd be a puddle of piss underneath myself. Uh-oh. Oh god. Oh god. Bruh. Ew. Oh, fuck that, dude. I thought fucking Mob Psycho was creepy with their creatures and their spirits. That's fucking creepy. What am I watching? This man just summoned fucking dire wolves? Go in, bro. Oh shit. So he can sense it. It's kind of like Nen. He can sense energies. Grandpa's death and the death I'm facing now. How are they any different? Yep. We're going back to that message he told him. Help as many people as you can, even if it's just one. Yeah, that guy is fucked. He's dead. But the girl, I swear, was in the intro. Oh, what the fuck, dude? Man, groping up on her. Jesus. Sexual harassment, sexual assault. Don't end up like me. Go. Climb over that bitch. Rescue the day. Save the day. What do you mean, rescue the day? What the hell does that even mean? Dude, that is so fucking creepy, man. Yo! Badass motherfucker. What's he gonna do? Oh, he's just using physical attacks on him? Damn. I didn't think you could do that. There's an actual physical creature that you can also just attack with your own fucking bare hands. Huh. Oh, and then he does the mob shit with the psychic powers. But then the dogs are eating them. Are they real dogs or spiritual dogs too? I'm so confused. Ah. Shikigami. Ah. Not unless you're on the verge of death or in special places like this. You got no time to be scared. So I at least want the people I know to have proper deaths. Not that I really get it myself. I don't get what the fuck you're talking about either. Special grade cursed object. Oh, so wait. Was that the name? Huh. Oh god. Is that the finger of the guy who the episode is titled after? I think that's what I just saw, but the subtitle went way too fast. Oh, that's the creature we saw earlier. Holy shit. Ow. Oh shit. He's more powerful. I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. It is sensory overload. Come on, do your hand shit. Dude, let him do his work. He fucked up that first guy, rescued the two people. So these are tangible, concrete creatures, not just spirits or formless spirits. True. Besides what? Why are you still holding the finger? I'm so confused. What is that supposed to mean? So much is so open and up to interpretation. I don't know what's going on right now. Why did he eat it? Why did he eat it? Why did he eat it? Why did he put it in his mouth? Wait, he's gonna eat it? Oh god. Is he gonna become evil this way? Oh god. Ew, you ate a fucking finger. Ah, so that's what the episode is titled after. Hey. Obviously he's special, so he's... Yo. Holy shit. Damn, bruh. So is this show gonna be about eating cursed objects to gain more power? Oh god. He looks evil now. Uh-oh. Oh god. Oh god. He looks evil as fuck now. That's fucking creepy. I don't like that look at all. Oh god. Has he been reincarnated? Yep, that's what I just... Yep, holy shit. Oh god. Holy shit. So, we know our main antagonist now. Dude, that guy is so fucking creepy. Oh, whoa, whoa. Is he controlling it? Yo. Yo. So is he gonna have its power inside its body? Is he no longer... Jujutsu regulations. So is the company made to go exercising curses and demons and shit? Holy fuck. So, let's discuss. These first episode discussions are always so hard to do because I have no idea what to even talk about or where to start with whatever I can manage to even come up with in my head to talk about, because literally everything is presumptive, assumptive, predictive, subjective, other if words. It's the first episode. I have no knowledge of any characters. I don't know the plot yet at all. I have no clue what's going on. There's no episode before this, since it's the first to like gather your thoughts or make connections to, nothing to call back to. Everything is in the future that I don't even know yet. I can't even remember these motherfuckers' names. I'm so bad with names, I can't even remember most people's names. And I'm supposed to, well, not supposed to, but I want to make a good discussion or try my best to just, I don't know, piece shit together in my head. But it is hard on first episodes, and don't take this as any slight or negative response to the show. That is not it whatsoever. This episode was awesome. It's me not wanting to do an injustice to the show by not being knowledgeable enough, smart enough, understanding enough. I'm almost 30 episodes into Hunter x Hunter, so I can talk for an hour on just one episode or even just one topic in that episode. And that's exactly what I do episode after episode. But these discussions for first episodes are always so difficult to get going. It was that with Hunter x Hunter, it was that with Mob Psycho. It's here right now. So I guess the only thing I can do is just start off with personal subjective opinions, very broad topics about the show, and maybe something will click in my head and I want to go down that path. So, the first one being, the opening is sick. Everybody always wants to detail and talk about, or the opening is like, I don't know why it's always so popular, but it like makes the show. I would take that same thing for like Western shows or regular shows too, of like, have you ever seen a good show with a bad opening, or have you ever seen a bad show with a good opening? It's like reading a book by its cover. It's the first thing you see, the music, the visuals. What? My favorite shows like Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad, Mad Men, Lost. Those all have amazing openings. Same thing with like Hunter x Hunter, Mob Psycho, Dragon Ball, Naruto, Jujutsu right now. I think that is crucial to your first opinions about the show right off the bat, because you're seeing scenes that are gonna come up later. These are your first exposure to characters. The music should lend a vibe or atmosphere to the show. Like, what am I gonna expect from this show? I commented that I like the unexpected vibe I got from it. It was very pop alternative. I really like the vibe. It's like 50% of it gets you pumped for the episode, and 50% calms you down so you can relax and just be ready to take everything in. Like it exemplifies the personality of the show. I think the music should have that responsibility. Like the intro to Mob Psycho does that perfectly. Like the intro to Mob Psycho is a fucking headbanger. The tight 1, 2, 3, 4 beats, boom, 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 hard, heavy riffs from the electric guitar with the drums filling in the empty spaces. So there's like no emptiness whatsoever. And it just builds up, speeds up more intensely as we get to that 100%. As we know, when Mob reaches 100%, he explodes. So that's the climax of the intro, as it would be the climax to whatever episode that he does end up exploding in. And I didn't really like the first opening for Hunter x Hunter very much for the first arc, the first departure opening, just personal opinion. Even though it also does a good job at also expressing the tone and atmosphere for the show. So subjectively, I don't like it. Objectively, I know it does a good job. I got feelings of innocence, curiosity, as that's what our characters were feeling and going through during the Hunter exam, and not so much so by the end of the Hunter exam, you're jaded, you're experienced, you're a hunter now, so you change it up a bit. And I think a lot of my dislike for that opening in Hunter x Hunter just comes from the animation and visuals that supplemented it. Because the opening during the Heaven's Arc arena, I like way more, and it's the same song, but different visuals. So you need to find a perfect marriage between the two. But then the closing song for Hunter x Hunter during this Heaven's Arena arc I'm watching right now, a fucking jam. When the narrator's still speaking, but the outro music starts to play over it, and then the narrator stops talking, and then they boost up the gain on the music, and it's just a fucking jam. When that beat drops at exactly the 20-second mark, I can't help but jam the fuck out. I'm a guitarist, I'm a metalhead, I like my bass, I like my grungy guitar, and they give me that. But my music taste is incredibly vast. As a musician, I think that's natural. Especially like when my dad used to be in a soul R&B band, so I grew up on soul, blues, Sam Cooke, Isley Brothers, Aretha, Al Green, BB King, Muddy Waters, Stevie Ray Vaughan, that jam. When I first started playing guitar at like age 6, I began with classical and jazz and more folk or singer-songwriter for things like Van Morrison, Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson, Jack Johnson, Crosby, Stills and Nash, that type of thing. Then I got this thing called Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock. And I told my guitar teacher, I don't want to play this jazz or classical anymore. Teach me music theory and tablature on metal and rock. And this is where I became a metalhead, grunge lover, and began turning that bass knob all the way up. Black Sabbath, Alice in Chains, Pantera, Metallica, that Seattle sound in Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. I took a huge tangent. I'm sorry. What I'm trying to get at is each show fulfills my love for every genre that makes me me. And I love that. Mob Psycho with some Soundgarden and some Sabbath. Hunter x Hunter with, what would you say, Styx, Kansas, Boston. And honestly, Jujutsu Kaisen kind of gives me those hoppy alternative vibes, maybe in a Jack Johnson, Van Morrison, Elvis Costello. What else? Fish. Fuck, what's that group called? Boogie Trio. And not just in the intro, I mean, but also like the background music that plays during the episode. The intro has a more poppy alternative vibe, that super clean sounding Stratocaster guitar, how lighthearted and the vocals and instrumentation sound over the changing scenes. Starts off pretty subtle as you just have scenes of everyday life. Yuji riding public transportation, just thinking to himself, doing his own thing. Gojo overlooking the city. Then the beat drops and the scenes change to action and fighting. But during the show, the very subtle acoustic guitar chords, it's like, I like it. It's different. It it's there, but it doesn't overpower the scenes like Hunter x Hunter's background music does, and I hate it. Only thing I like is Hisoka's Spanish flamenco guitar. And I just spent all this time talking about goddamn music. Jesus Christ. long story short, the opening kicks ass, and I love the vibe. I forget who is running the animation, the music, or in general producing the show. I know they're big. I don't they do Attack on Titan 2 or something, or they have something to do with Attack on Titan 2 and season 4 just came out. So like they got to be doing a good job, or like people got to be happy to see things are in good hands when they just saw Jujutsu Kaisen come out a few months ago and could get an idea of how future projects would go. I think people are pleased. I'm pleased, but I don't know anything. What else? The pacing. I really appreciate the pacing of the show. What really annoys me in shows is when they drag out dialogue or conversations, or when you can tell they're trying to fill in time because they got a 20-minute time slot to fill, but they don't have enough content, so they're dragging shit out, stretch it as much as possible. I hate that, especially in dialogue. When like you're reading the subtitles or following along with the show faster than the fucking characters are in the show itself. Even with plot development too. But this show does a good job at keeping up with quick pacing. If anything, it kind of goes a little fast, but I'm not going to complain about fast if slow is what the other option is. I don't know, it's just like there wasn't a lull or a low point. I was constantly being introduced to new characters, new concepts, engaging, and the characters were engaging in interesting ways that had me thinking out loud or making comments to myself, and presented with new concepts, new ideas, new environments. And before I could even finish the thoughts, something new was on screen. So there were always thoughts queued up in my head. I don't like when you're watching a show or a movie and there's nothing going on inside your head. It's just like the monkey clapping the cymbals in your head. Nothing's going on. Like, I'm thinking, damn, this kind of gives me Mob Psycho vibes. Okay, so we're exposed to the supernatural, the occult, spirits, curses. So who has abilities? Or what are these abilities? Are there different types of abilities? What does cursed energy mean? Who has it? Do people know that these certain abilities exist? Is it public knowledge or secret? What's Jujutsu Tech? Stuff like that. And while having to form my own opinions about characters like Itadori or Yuji, I don't know what name is more often used for him, Gojo, Megumi, and having to analyze early themes and messages. That's why first episodes are so hard to do, because it's so hard to pick apart. There's so much you don't know. It's like forming my cornerstone to a tall skyscraper that is going to be my experience of an entire show. I want it to be on good foundation, planted well, sturdy, made of good material. I think that's an analogy I like that makes sense. I'm glad I came up with that right now. And alongside the pacing, being a person who likes more serious toned, darker storytelling, like my new favorite example of this is something like Samurai Champloo. I've been watching that recently. I've been binging that. Wanted to bring it to the channel, but honestly, it's not a very popular show despite being highly revered and respected. Just wouldn't bring in that many views, and I'm trying to grow. And that's an episode of Hunter x Hunter I could be watching instead for the channel. But Samurai Champloo is my exact style of storytelling, the philosophy, the messages it tries to convey, and the emotions it hits you with in a different, unique way every episode. It's masterful. And bruh, there were two episodes back to back recently I watched that just had me turn my TV off and go to bed, literally saying to myself out loud in my dark room in my bed, like, holy shit, I am not prepared for that. I just watched that. How am I supposed to just go to bed now and sleep? The episode about the pickpocketer with his sick mother, bruh, I nearly shed tears at the end. And then the episode right after that about Jin trying to rescue a prostitute, dude, that is the moment I realized how good animated mature adult storytelling can be. And again, keep in mind, I'm very limited in my exposure and experience to watching Japanese anime. So it's not like I have the likes of Death Parade, Death Note, Attack on Titan, and whatever else to go off of. But I am a huge cinephile, movie buff, TV buff, so I have an overall very large exposure to masterpiece works, and it still had me blown away. And again, I'm going off on some pointless tangent. What I wanted to say about Samurai Champloo is that it still makes me genuinely laugh every episode at least once, very genuinely, naturally, organically, and most importantly, unexpectedly, because it's not a comedic anime. They don't set up punchlines or jokes. They just make it happen. They're not trying to squeeze in a laugh or a joke anywhere. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, we keep on moving. I don't know how to describe that, but I love that in movies and TV. I don't want forced humor. I don't want to be pandered with, or humor for the sake of breaking the tension or clearing the air or making it lighthearted as opposed to emotional. Like that, just pandering to the audience, like we're monkeys that can only be entertained by jokes and not emotion. Like they're not testing us. They don't have faith in us as viewers and as an audience and as intelligent beings. I share the same feeling with Jujutsu Kaisen. The show is funny by just being funny when it is funny. It's not a funny show, but there are moments of humor and comedic relief. I can't point my finger at any joke in this episode really, or a multitude of jokes. Like I can't remember, but I know I laughed or chuckled. The humor comes very naturally, organically, not forced. It's like it's like that one person in a friend group, that one person who is always trying to be funny, forcing the joke, forcing a sense of humor that ain't theirs, that don't fit their personality, and every joke they make is just not funny. If somebody else said that joke, it would be funny, but the way they said it, not funny, and it's just cringy. That's not the case here, but you find that a lot in movies and TV. Something as simple as like, say, take it when Megumi is trying to find that cursed object, but it isn't where he thought it was, so he's like scrambling around to look for it, closing the door, opening again, like somehow it's just gonna appear again. And it both gives off that confusion and hastiness Megumi is feeling, because to give off that feeling of like, this is serious, what's going on? We need to find this. This is a big deal. We are in danger. That confusion, that hastiness, but also some comedic relief that just makes you chuckle a bit, especially intriguing for a character I at least view as a serious, all business, no messing around type character. So it's a good contrast, which makes it more funny because it's more ironic. Same with the grandfather. The grandfather is literally in his last moments embodying the concept of death in this episode and arriving at one's end, yet he still makes you chuckle as he says, like, every man wants to go out in style. Because of that humor and the fast pacing and how straightforward they try and get right away, I kind of see Jujutsu Kaisen as an anime you could watch with your non-anime liking normie friends, and they would like it or at least be entertained, even if not dedicated to a whole season or all 24 episodes. But like they come sit down on your couch or while you're watching an episode, and it actually kind of grabs them and keeps their attention, and they're not bored. That's how I feel it. And I don't think a lot of good animes are good at that. I honestly don't think Hunter x Hunter could do that. Maybe Mob Psycho could, just for the animation style alone and the hyper fast ADHD pacing. To get into the actual show, let's start with the characters, obviously. You only see Gojo for a few seconds right at the very beginning, and I already love how simply yet perfectly they captured how much of an arrogant little shit he is, in a good way. Was just sitting backwards on a chair, legs spread, casual, arms dangling down, subtle smile on his face, and as he just tells Yuji he is going to be executed. And I love the ambiguity immediately presented right here in the immediate beginning, already giving you questions to hold on to for the future. At least for me, because I'm not a manga person, so I don't know the story. I don't know the manga or the source material, how faithful certain anime adaptations are to the source material. But for me, I like when they tease you with just enough information to keep up, but give you more questions than answers, or at least very big questions, if not many questions. Like, I don't know where they are, what this room is, why there are candles and thousands of little pages of strange writings lining up the walls all around. I'm only given the names of our first two characters, Gojo and Yuji, but I'm pretty much left in the dark after that. Who is the good guy here? Who's the bad guy? Is the bad guy tied up by the good guy? Is the good guy tied up by the bad guy? Why does Gojo wear a blindfold? I don't know. All I know is he does, and he looks like a fucking badass. So that will have to suffice for now. He asks Yuji, which one are you right now? And it being only 20 seconds in the fucking show, I have no clue what's that supposed to mean, other than, man, that's some ominous, scary shit. and I learn of Jujutsu Tech, which connects me to the title of the show, so I gain some understanding there. Jujutsu Tech sounds like a company at first, but Gojo says he is in charge of first years, so then you make the connection. It implies it's actually a school, like a Hogwarts or some shit, but for martial arts fighting. So you get some character development pushed alongside the early beginnings to some world building. Good start there. We don't know what Jujutsu Tech is at this moment, but it's clear Yuji does at some point as he refers to a man we didn't know yet at that point. The fly on the wall scene, both in dialogue and even in the camera work. I love animated shows that incorporate real world cinematic uh, camera work, cinematography inside an animated show, uh, where they place the perspective of us, the viewers, makes it feel like we also got a chair pulled up and are just listening in on this convo as a third present party. The thing I love the most, the line, "I'm not sure you should be worrying about others," because that is precisely the meaning of this episode. Even if you don't know what's going on, you can capture that in that moment and hang on to that, and you know, okay, this is what this episode is going to entail. You see it throughout the entire episode. Yuji caring for others. The very first scene after the opening is Yuji calling the hospital to ask how his grandfather is. Like, I spoke about the music earlier. Love the tranquil acoustic guitar in the background to give you a calming atmosphere. The sun rising, hitting Yuji's face. You get this lighthearted tone, very tranquil. Immediately contrasts the sharp cut to a black night, sirens cutting through an otherwise eerie silence as we meet Megumi, the cold, moody, serious, straight-faced monologue, intimidating one. And I could immediately anticipate I'm going to like this character because I see opportunities for growth right away here. Not just one road, but forks in the road. I see more depth, I guess. And again, that comic relief coming from the kind of guy I just described. Ironic. And Gojo being that little arrogant shit telling Megumi the cursed object must have walked away or gone out for a stroll. Really not taking it that serious, just like, well, you ain't coming back to retrieve it, so good luck, bye. I like that contrast between Gojo and Megumi are colleagues, they work together, but you're going to get split personalities there. So you get both sides, but not in the one character, multiple characters. Now, I don't know if it's wrong of me to compare the show to Mob Psycho. I at least do on the surface because that's just what I get. Like, Yuji is a part of the occult club, talking to spirits. Mob was going to join the telepathy club, but they're both high school students. One seemingly spending his time pointlessly in a club when he could be out doing much more or doing more good. And Mob wanted to join a club about pretending to be a psychic when he actually is a psychic and has way more important things to do with his time, and he wanted to join a club just to be popular. But in that shot here where they're trying to talk to spirits on some Ouija board looking thing, I love the symbolic imagery with the dark vignette wrapping the screen and Yuji perfectly in the center, out of the darkness and in the light, also wearing bright yellow to contrast himself even more, smiling and casually having fun speaking to spirits in the club. I think that's good symbolic imagery for what ends up happening. And I love the mob psycho vibes given off when the girl in the club starts explaining this mysterious event that happened at the school with the rugby team, the enthusiasm and the animation with the fast pacing. I like that a lot. Gave me huge mob psycho vibes, and that's just what I get from it. I don't know if it's bad to compare this show to Mob Psycho. That's just how what I the where I naturally go. And right after we're told about this mysterious stuff about the rugby field, vengeful spirits, dead bodies, the girl not being taken seriously, I love how it immediately cuts to Megumi at the rugby field, literally staring at a creepy ass monster spirit thing. So we know certain supernatural abilities do exist because he is able to see this thing, which means others have similar abilities. But there are different levels of curses apparently. So that is something I have to remember or learn. So if there's a power system of curses, is there a power system with humans? And no coincidence, right as we learn of Medumi's abilities, we start to learn that Yuji is quite the capable man himself. The fact that the gym teacher is begging him to compete in nationals infers he is very strong, very fast, or whatever else he would need to be for track and field. rumors that he completed all stages of Ninja Warrior, that he's the reincarnation of Mirko Crow Cop. I have no idea what that means. All I know is that people seem to highly respect Yuji, and I think that and that think that he is like something else. But I'm confused why that girl knows nothing about him. Aren't they friends? I don't know when they've met, but she's asking if he's famous. It's like interesting to see a main character be the popular one at school. To me, that seems rather rare trait for a shonen. But this fucking kid just palms a fucking shot put ball like it's a baseball and whips that sucker 30 meters into a goalpost, bending and breaking the shit out of it. And even he's surprised he won. So he ain't even cocky or anything about his athleticism or capabilities, or isn't even aware of his potential. So I like the traits of you're popular, in theory, you're better than most, yet you're still down to earth, humble, just yourself. And we see more of that message about caring for others, as I said, is sprinkled consistently throughout the episode. To go back to what Gojo said, Yuji cares about his club members. Logically, he ought to be on a sports team or something, instead utilizing his potential more. But he knows his occult club members wouldn't be able to enjoy the things that they do, going to haunted houses and stuff, if it weren't for him. And a club needs 3 members to be an active club, and without him, they'd only have 2. So he wants his new friends to enjoy themselves and be happy. And he even says if it's okay with them, he would like to stay, wanting their feelings and opinions weighted as equal to his own. And I just love how he is portrayed. Caring about his grandpa, caring about his friends and his club mates, not being some egotistical, arrogant, cocky jock, but just some humble, possibly even naive kid who's just about the vibes and about the atmosphere. Sounds like my kind of friend, but buying flowers for his grandpa, joining a club that specifically ends at a certain time so that he may be able to see his grandpa at the hospital. Good guy, Yuji. All the homies love Yuji. Even though I laughed when it turned out the flowers were for the nurses, not his grandpa. I thought that was funny. Again, very natural, unexpected humor there. But I want to spend some time on the scene with his grandpa. The back and forth is very meaningful. The young kid trying to teach his grandpa some stuff, like telling him he can just be himself, but the grandpa also trying to teach his grandson some things. The whole topic and concept of death here is very fascinating. The way Yuji just nonchalantly said, "Stop trying to act all cool before you die." He's either very accepting of death or very unexposed to death with the way he says that. I also take it Yuji's parents are perhaps dead, as his grandfather wanted to tell him about his parents, but Yuji refused to hear it. So they're either dead, and it goes along with his treatment of death, just not interested in it, brushing it off. How they died, who knows? Perhaps in some bad way. Or did they run away, abandon him, or do something bad, and he just doesn't want to hear about his parents? I'm I, I'm gonna guess they went the route of Bruce Wayne's parents and just got fucking killed or something. But the message his grandfather tells him is super profound, just silence. And out of nowhere, the grandpa feels compelled to tell him this, as he probably knows these are his last words. Just tells him he's a strong kid, so help others. We know he's a strong kid, quite literally. Maybe the grandpa knows his potential too, and the grandpa has to have a past we are not aware of yet, I think, or I'm not at least aware of. You guys are. But being strong, help others because you're morally obligated to do so. Like Uncle Ben told Peter Parker, with great power comes great responsibility. The grandpa continues to elaborate, even if it's only those closest to him. Just save the people you can. It's okay if you lose your way, and don't worry about whether they'll thank you or not. Just save as many people as you can, even if it's only one. When you die, you should be surrounded by people. Don't end up like me. Fuck. God damn, that is so profound. The grandpa was obviously speaking from personal experience, the mistakes he made, the regrets he has. I think about that concept of life and death a lot. So this really hits me. It's like what I think about life. You know me, I'm fucking philosophical. Let's get into some philosophy right here. A life well lived exhausts itself. One who lived life fully is willing to let it go. You can be satisfied with what you were. You can ask people what they regret, especially as they get older, and what they generally tell you is things not done. People don't so much regret mistakes they've made, though obviously we all regret things that we've done. But really, people don't regret sins of commission or mistakes that they've actively made. They torment themselves for opportunities that had presented themselves and they did not take, exploit, or engage in. And that's how the grandpa feels. On his deathbed, he regrets what he didn't do. He didn't help others. He wasn't there for at least one person. And because of those opportunities lost, he is not surrounded by friends or people who care. And I think for that, I don't know if he's bitter or upset about it or if he's just content and he's accepted it. Maybe not bitter, upset at the world, but himself. And he literally just has one person, his grandson. Maybe that's the one person he was talking about that he saved. I don't know. Perhaps seems like if he was the only family Yuji had with his parents not in the picture, maybe that's the one person he saved. But I just think that the whole thing he said was super profound as it ties into the very thing Gojo said to Yuji in the beginning of the episode. Stop worrying about others. But we see all he does is worry about others and his grandfather telling him to be there for others. So you don't have to be there for everyone, but be there for at least one person, care for them, worry about them, save them. And the grandpa dies right then and there. Wow. That shit hits hard, dude. Yuji whimpering, trying not to cry, the first sign of sadness from him that we see, and it's over death. Like it actually does indeed affect him once it's actually no longer potentiality, the future, but reality, the present. He even admits this is nothing he's experienced before, but Grandpa would be upset if he kept his melancholy forever. So let's go get over the sadness and let's keep moving forward. Let's go with our own life now. And I also like how we learn of the existence of the supernatural, the actual occult, and curses at the same time as Yuji does. Just as we explore the world through the eyes of Gon, for example, in Hunter x Hunter, we learn in real time with Yuji. But man, Yuji is just so laid back and chill, almost to a fault, learning that this cursed object is very important and even more dangerous. Doesn't seem to connect the dots right away that his senpai is in obvious danger by having it. Megumi doesn't care whether Yuji believes him or not, if he believes in curses or whatever. He doesn't need him to. He just needs the object. And I like that. It's not his job or his issue or his problem to try and convince someone of this shit. That's not necessary. So stick to what's needed. Kind of like an indirect way of telling the viewers too, like, we don't care if you don't understand the show right away. We're not slowing down or pandering for you. We know you'll catch up and catch on. We're just going to keep on going. The explanation is very interesting, very different from Mob Psycho, calling it negative energy and saying like large pools of it can form quite easily at schools, hospitals, etc., because those are places full of people harboring negative energy themselves, negative emotions, who are incredibly invulnerable. In school and in hospitals, there will be overwhelming feelings of hardship, regret, shame, anger, suffering, loss, loneliness, etc. Shit that these curses feed off of. And interesting though that people are aware of this, and most of these places keep protective talismans, is the word, to combat those curse breeding negative energies. Unless it's just actually a popular cultural thing in real life in Japan, I don't know. That would make sense too. The talisman Yuji found is a special grade dangerous cursed object with a weak seal. So therefore, instead of doing its intended job, makes the curse even stronger, or the cursed energy or whatever. I like the strict classification for curses and objects and probably spirits and stuff too. They are assigned grades and values. Makes it easier to comprehend. Yuji is so ignorant, it only then comes back to his mind that his senpai were planning on removing the talisman and messing with it. So now he realizes people he cares about might die, right after someone else he cared about has just died and who told him to save those who he can. Kind of what triggers his change in attitude. And bruh, I was not expecting a whole ass fucking finger to be wrapped in that thing. Caught me off guard big time. And that force surrounding the school reminded me of Nen from Hunter x Hunter, since I'm talking right now after finishing episode 28 where I get introduced to Nen for the first time. Can't help for my brain to make that connection. And when they approach the school, Yuji wants to help since he says those people are his friends. He can't stand by, which makes you as the viewer think back to what that grandpa said, as I'm sure that is also what Yuji is thinking in that moment as well. His attitude didn't just change out from nothing. I think hadn't his grandpa told him that, maybe he would have stayed outside the gate and not helped. But those monsters, though, I have zero fucking clue what those are or where they come from. Are those the curses? Are those monsters? Are they both? Are they not mutually exclusive? Did the fucking finger trigger those monsters to come out? Or did unwrapping it destroy the protection it was providing? So the curses were set free? Is curses just a bad translation word or something? I'm literally just like Yuji, so I don't even feel bad for being confused, since even he said he still doesn't understand curses himself. So I'm right in the same boat as him. I don't understand that stuff at all. I'm just gonna go understand it as Yuji does himself. So just like Gon and Hunter x Hunter, we're along for the ride with Yuji. But when Megumi does some but when Megumi did some fucking Naruto hand seal action and surrounded those demon dogs, that was badass. And wait, holy shit. Am I an actual idiot? Hand seals from Naruto, ninjutsu, genjutsu. Here, I'm watching Jujutsu. It's all just jutsu. Holy shit. My mind has been expanded. I've reached a higher plane of existence. Whoa, I am so utterly fucking stupid that I've just realized this. I watched this episode a second goddamn time, and even then I was like, huh, kind of cool he's doing the same kind of hand seals you see in Naruto. Man, I'm just gonna move on, because wow, I'm a fucking idiot. Embarrassing. Yeah, those dogs were really badass, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna end it at that. Again, kind of making me think of Nen with Yuji when Yuji said that he could sense death all the way from where he was standing. He admits he is afraid of dying in that moment, but he questions if he ever was before because he doesn't feel like it. This is a new feeling to him. And when Yuji came crashing into that window all slow motion, so fucking cool, probably the highlight of action for me, decided he ain't gonna be scared. His grandpa didn't tell him those words for him just for him to ignore them. Don't end up like him, which is intriguing because he says as he is in slow motion that he feels like his grandpa had a proper death. What was so proper about it? You don't want to end up like him, but you said he died a proper death. Or by proper death, you mean in somewhat peace with somebody around him, he was around him of natural causes. I don't think it's necessarily how he would have wanted to die, because then would he have complained about one should die surrounded by people and he didn't have that? Kind of confusing. Maybe I need some clarification from y'all, but that's the main piece that has me most intrigued, I believe, or what caught my eye most, that small phrase, proper death, a simple concept on the surface, but like I said, I think about life and death a lot. I think about philosophy a lot. So the concept of death is inevitable. It's the one game we all play that we are each all in on. All your chips are on the table. The one game you're all in on. So you might as well play the best game you can. You will die eventually one day, hopefully long in the future, but one day you will. And with it being inevitable, if you had the option to choose, or at least did your best to try and guarantee that, wouldn't you want to die without pain, in the company of many, being content with what you were, having lived your life to the fullest, you exhausted itself? As I mentioned earlier, you're willing to let life go. That sounds like a proper death to me. I find it very fascinating because to me, the societal or cultural consensus on the idea is not wanting someone to die at all, preventing them from dying, saving them from death. Whereas here, it's not about stopping death, but allowing a proper one. So, not like a, you're not going to die on me, I'm not going to let you. It's a, you're going to die someday, but not today and not this way. I like that a lot more. You will die, of course, we all will. But if I can help it, you will die a proper death. Even in stories, the protagonist's main drive or the group's main drive, the friends, whatever, is to save the world, save all of mankind, save everyone, no matter the cost. Like, I love Dragon Ball. I'm in the middle of Dragon Ball Z, but Goku and his friends, Krillin, Roshi, Yamcha, Tien, Shiatsu, Bulma, etc., all want to save everybody. They use the Dragon Balls to save everyone, save their friends, etc. It's about saving everybody from death. And I guess you could say saving them from an improper death to fix that. But then take Hunter x Hunter example. I like Hunter x Hunter for the explicit lack of any code or morality in the series. It's more like, yeah, people die. A lot of them do. People die every day. So that's life. What do you want me to do about it? The world is what it is. Start seeing what is and not what if or what should be. I like that. And I like that here. You don't need to save everyone. That's an impossible task. All the grandpa says is you can't and don't need to save everyone. And you may even lose your way at some point. And people may not thank you for what you do, but save who you can, who you want to. Save just one, and you've done some good in the world. Not to say shows like Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, or whatever else are flawed or worse off for going that save all direction. Not at all. They're wonderful masterpieces. I just appreciate the difference in perspective it provides. You get freshness, newness. It serves as a palate cleanser, as I described in my intro. And then I liked how Minugi didn't chew him out. He wanted to ask, what the hell is he doing? But why would he? He did a good job. If anything, all he's interested in, oh, what changed your mind? I believe it's also super important to note how Yuji admits he has never seen a ghost or anything of that nature before up until tonight. But Yuji, he wasn't scared. Or he was for a bit, as he describes, but the thought of people actually dying overpowered that fear of death itself. And those he knows being able to die proper deaths is important to him. The climax, the end of one's life should not be tragic. Even though he says he doesn't really understand it himself, you don't have to understand to care. Like, he knows how he feels, but he doesn't at the same time and doesn't really think to explore it further any deeper. All he knows is that it matters to him. But that finger was from, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. I'm going to botch it. Ryōmen, is that how it is? Ryōmen or Riemann or I don't know. Ryomen Sukuna, right? So I was right about the title being a name. I was wrong about who it was and who exactly is Ryomen Sukuna. I'm just going to call him Sukuna. I like how that's the most obvious question anybody would ask at this point in the episode, yet it purposely wasn't answered. Instead, we got answers to questions about what would happen if you ate the finger, the most random, unexpected line of conversation. And it's purposeful, though, because what are words going to do? You'd have to see it for yourself, which we do. All we gain from the convo is that you would only eat it if you wanted to gain cursed energy in a vast amount of it, which the two words cursed energy do not sound good at all together. Sounds very ominous and intimidating. And insane how powerful this monster or curse or whatever the hell you want to call this thing, I don't know, but how powerful this thing was that Megumi was getting fucked up like he was. And I like the fact he did indeed get fucked up, that our characters are human and they bleed, they get hurt, they ain't invincible. It gets so stale when characters are seemingly invincible. Like, Megumi is hurt bad, he is bleeding, he is worn out and tired, he can't even think straight because he is human. He ain't a fucking Saiyan like Goku. It raises the stakes because you know serious injury or death are options. It'd be like playing Dungeons and Dragons, except death wasn't a risk. No death saving throws needed. So you just role play our character as a daredevil, no fucks given, because there's no risk. You can't die. I like when every character is expendable. Megumi is yelling at Yuji, like, why can't you understand? You need to get yourself and those two out of here. But what is this whole episode about? What did Gojo say? Yuji worries about other people. He may have just met Megumi. They aren't friends. He's already saved two people. He can't save everyone. But like his grandpa said, he's strong. And if he can, he should save others. He cares about Megumi not dying an improper death. He doesn't care about Megumi straight up, maybe. He doesn't care about Megumi dying, just the fact that he can prevent an improper death. Yuji is like, you're in danger too. Stop telling me what I can't do. You're going to die at this rate. Why would you even be talking this nonsense? You really want me to not try and help you? He even said, if I went to bed now, I'd have nightmares. He'd have PTSD or something. He wouldn't be able to live with himself or be able to sleep at night. It would bother him forever. So don't be surprised that he's doing what he's doing. And, bruh, this man's catches a finger out of midair with his mouth like it was some goddamn Cheetos puff. And not just bites it, this man eats a whole ass finger, fingernail and all. Dude didn't even chew. Swallowed that thing one gulp like a Flintstones vitamin. And a 1 in a million chance he doesn't die from it. Not surprisingly, he doesn't. And tears this curse, spirit, monster, whatever, to absolute shreds. Tears it a new one without effort. But it ain't Yuji no more, bruh. Them fingernails grown out. He tatted up head to toe. So creepy, but so cool. Ryomen Sukuna incarnated inside Yuji's body. So Yuji technically becomes an antagonist of the show, even though you want to like him, even though you want to be a protagonist, even though you like him, even though you want to love him, technically he's an antagonist. So your heartstrings, your emotions are going to be played with. You're going to be pulled on either side, man. He either needs to die or be exorcised. That is why he was chained up by Gojo in the beginning and why he was asked which one of them is Gojo talking to. Because shockingly enough, to Megumi, Sukuna may be alive in Yuji's body as a special grade, powerful, cursed being, but Yuji is somehow able to suppress him. Like, such a serious moment, and Yuji is still his sarcastic self, just saying like, well, it is my body. This makes it way more interesting. The episode ends with Megumi saying he must exorcise him as he is no longer human. So next episode will obviously be a face-off between the two. He will lose somehow and end up chained down and interrogated by Gojo. And there's going to be 24 episodes. Damn, I'm excited. I think I'm going to end the discussion here. I think I talked way, way too much. I can tell by how dry and in pain my throat is right now. So if you enjoyed the video and found it entertaining, hitting the like button to let me know is awesome. And better yet, if you want to keep up with all future content from me, be sure to subscribe to stay in the loop. I just hit over 700 subscribers. Thank you so much. That is the goal I wanted to reach. Now we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. 70% of you who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you want to make my day, subscribe to the channel. Keep the conversation going down in the comments section below so I can connect to y'all more. Build a community. You know that's the most important thing to me. Follow me on social media to check out my photography and a more personal side. Having said all that, and with that said, so long, farewell, until next time, thank you, be happy, and I hope you have a good one.